Okay, so let's talk about a day that changed the AI industry maybe forever. April 8th, 2026. This wasn't about a new flashy model or some crazy new benchmark. No, this was a fundamental shift in how businesses actually use AI. In this explainer, we are going to break down Anthropic's absolutely game-changing pivot and what it really means for the future of work. And this one sentence from their announcement, it just says it all, doesn't it? Give us the job description and we will hire, onboard, and manage the AI worker for you. Think about that. Anthropic isn't just selling you access to a powerful AI anymore. They're selling you a managed AI workforce. It's a move from selling raw tools to selling finished outcomes. And honestly, it's a seismic shift for the entire industry. So, to really get why this is such a massive deal, we have to start with the problem Anthropic is trying to solve. You see, for the last couple of years, companies have been practically swimming in these super powerful AI models, but they've been drowning in the complexity of actually putting them to work. And this right here, this is the villain of our story, what we're calling the deployment gap. It's this huge chasm between having an amazing AI model and actually getting a functional, secure, reliable AI worker doing a job inside a company. It's a totally different beast, and it's the reason most big AI projects have been stuck in what they call pilot purgatory. I mean, just look at this. This is what it used to take to build just one single AI agent. It was a multi-month nightmare for engineering teams. You had to do all of it. Choose the model, engineer the prompts, build the integrations, handle errors, do all the security and compliance, all while the model itself was constantly changing underneath you. It was just a fragile, expensive, and painfully slow process. And the cost? Oh, the cost. We're not even talking about the price of the AI model here. For a company to build just one of these custom agents, they were looking at a potential $2 million bet when you factor in salaries and infrastructure. A $2 million project. And what were the odds on that $2 million bet? Well, according to Gartner, a staggering 88% of enterprise AI agent projects that started in 2025 failed. They never made it into production. So companies were spending millions for a nearly 9 out of 10 chance of total failure. That is the problem Anthropic is going after. Okay, so that's the chaos. How is Anthropic fixing it? Their answer is something called Claude Managed Agents. And the goal here isn't just to make the process a little easier, it's to pretty much eliminate it entirely. It's about collapsing that deployment gap for good. And the difference is it's staggering. Look at this. What used to take a big team up to 6 months and a dozen complex steps now takes maybe 1 or 2 developers about a week. You've got early adopters like Rakuten who stood up agents in 5 different departments in that time frame. It's a total paradigm shift. You know, what's interesting is that this move comes from a position of real strength. Anthropic had already kind of quietly become the leader in the enterprise API market, with 32% of the share. So managed agents isn't some desperate move. It's a very strategic play to widen their lead and really lock in that dominance. So how does it actually work? Well, it's pretty simple on the surface. Businesses just define what they want the AI worker to do in something called an agent profile. Then, Anthropic handles all the hard stuff in the background, the security, the scaling, running code safely, even keeping track of conversations over multi-day tasks. And for industries like healthcare or finance, having compliance just built in from day one, that's a massive, massive accelerator. Okay, let's zoom out for a second. This announcement, it really signals a whole new chapter for the entire industry. The race isn't just about who has the smartest model anymore. Now it's about who can deliver that intelligence as a complete, fully managed service. This timeline really puts it all into perspective, right? First, we had the model race. Who can build the biggest and best? Then we moved into the API race. Who can make it easiest for developers to use? And now, Anthropic has just fired the starting gun on what comes next, the AI as a service race. This is all about selling results, not just raw power. You know, the best analogy here is what Amazon Web Services did for cloud computing. They started by just selling raw server space, right? But where they really built their empire was by selling managed services, like databases that just work. Anthropic is running that exact same playbook, but for AI, and it is a proven billion-dollar strategy. And make no mistake, this is not some small experiment. To pull this off, Anthropic has secured access to 3.5 gigawatts of computing power. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the output of 3 nuclear power plants. They are completely all in on this vision. Now, whenever there's a shift this big, it's going to create some very clear winners and some very clear losers. So let's break down how this whole pivot just completely redraws the competitive map of the AI world. Okay, so the winners. Anthropic, obviously. They get more revenue and much deeper customer lock-in. But the ecosystem around AI gets totally shaken up. Dozens of those middleware startups that built tools on top of the raw APIs, a lot of their value just got absorbed by the platform. And the huge consulting firms, their multi-million-dollar implementation projects just shrank into a one-week configuration task. And yeah, even OpenAI is suddenly on the back foot, forced to play catch-up in the enterprise race. But honestly, the biggest impact here goes way beyond corporate competition. This move fundamentally reframes the whole conversation we're having about AI and jobs. We are now officially entering the era of the AI labor market. And the proof is right there in the pricing. Anthropic isn't just billing you for usage, they're billing for active runtime, down to the millisecond. That's not a cloud computing model, that's an hourly wage. Anthropic isn't trying to be a tech provider here. They are positioning themselves as a staffing agency for digital labor. So, as this all unfolds, there are 4 key things you should be watching. First, pricing. Does Anthropic stay a premium service or do they go for the mass market? Second, the competition. How are OpenAI and Google going to respond to this? Third, the talent market. We're going to see a shift from jobs building AI to jobs managing AI. And finally, the regulators. How will laws adapt to a world full of deployed AI workers? And that really leaves us with this final kind of provocative thought. Anthropic's big move makes it crystal clear that the AI workforce is here. So the debate is no longer if this is going to happen. The question now is, who is going to be the staffing agency?